What is up, comic fam? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm marking it Sunday. That means this is at week's end. The spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. And there's a ton to talk about, from Rings of Power, House of Dragons, Stargirl starting, the She-Hulk show, new comic book day, all kinds of good stuff. And we're going to dive right into that. But first, check this out. All right, and also as a huge reminder, be sure to check out Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the channel and the giveaway that we're doing tonight for the channel members. So if you want to see what's being given away as well as who's going to win, don't go anywhere. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up our friend Justin Comics over on Instagram. The link to all the sponsors are in the channel description. Be sure to check them out. And let's bring in this panel. First up, we have my heterosexual life partner from the Great White North. You know his name. It's Chris, the comic vet.
That's me. How's it going?
Gravy Train on Biscuit Wheels. How's it going with you?
Snowballs on a hot day. Love it.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Leave it to Chris to bring up balls. Next up, we have hailing from his car on the run. His location is unknown. Ryan, what is going on?
What is up?
Tripod.
Much, nothing
Tripod.
much.
Plus one.
Bringing in the plus one himself, hailing from the next sector over all the way in 2015. We have Mr. Paul Cook. How are you tonight?
Biscuits and what was that?
Gravy Train.
That felt a little too southern for this, but he grabbed it and
You're
ran
like the
with
most
it.
southern guy here.
Well, hope all is well. It is a small week for comics this week, as Paul mentioned. What was it? I think it was last week on this show. You mentioned how this week is a fifth week. Some months have those fifth new comic book day weeks, and historically they're used for writers to catch up and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of comics to talk about. What is awesome, we have a lot of brand new show content to talk tonight, and it's not all coming from Disney Plus. We have stuff from all over the board. It's like everybody who puts out stuff to look forward to is dropping stuff. So there's something for everybody on right now. And I'm going to go ahead and say hello to the chat real quick, and then I'm going to show off what we're giving away tonight, and we're going to dive into stuff. Hey, Chris, it's Chris. I'll give you a bigger hello than that, Chris. So we got Chris at Retro Rocket, channel member. Hello, how are you tonight? That's the comic vet, one of the comic shops up there that he frequents. Appreciate you being here tonight. Chris says, but I'm happy you're here. Les Crucius, all the way here from New Mexico. We got Nick's Kicks and Comics.
This is my happy face.
Yeah. What was that? Tommy Lee Jones. This is my happy face. Digger Jim, what is up? Johnny Five Alive. Awesome video he posted today where he opened, I think it was today. I watched it today. He opened his Southern Comic Geek $150 mystery box. He got some awesome stuff in there. Y'all should be sure to go check that out. Mr. Paul Rogers, what is going on? Jimmy the Don is in the building. Good evening, sir. Oh, hail. Stephen C. is in the house. What is up, brother? We got Mr. Flo in the house. We were actually waiting on him to get started. I'm glad he can make it. Under the bottom line, habitual line stepper. Oh, Green Machine, how are you doing tonight? Hello, hello. What is going on? Hefe, a.k.a. Headquake Jr. Johnny Five Alive. Oh, brother John is up in the building. How are you doing tonight? I was not expecting him to make it. Talked to him in the comment section earlier. Circumstances, what is going on? So all these people with these channel icons next to their name, for the most part, I believe they're in the I'm a damn Yankee, Jersey born and raised. I believe they're for the most part in the giveaway for tonight. Taylor Winder, what is up, my friend? How are you?
Hey.
Pops is in the building. Watching on the big screen, Drafting Fantasy.
Yes.
Time to go to bed.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Fantasy football.
Oh, I thought it had to do with a stripper named Fantasy.
Oh.
I thought he was talking about that Lord of the Rings thing.
You are both incorrect.
Apparently.
You assume we're incorrect. We haven't got confirmation.
Well, I know I'm right.
That's fine. What is going on? Wow, man. Cat fan, what is going on? Let's see. My big news of the week. Last week, resubmitted my Air Label Ultimate Spidey to CGC after months. So that was the, I think it was an Indian version that he had of Ultimate Spider-Man #1, and it came back with the wrong label. What is going on?
Like that's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, see if it still could come back wrong.
Yeah, like, did it come back a better
Keep us
grade, a
posted.
worse
Keep us
grade,
posted,
wrong
man.
label, better label?
Yeah, he hasn't got it back yet.
Remy Q had a big celebration last night. Give away a lot of good prizes.
Ooh,
Yeah, congrats to him too. What was the 600
Yep.
subscriber milestone?
nice.
Congrats to him and Angel.
All right, so, let me
Very
get-
nice, very nice.
so this is going to be the stuff that's being given away tonight for one lucky channel member. Hey,
It's all to just one.
it's just
Spoiler alert, it's me.
Spiderman 2099 with that quiet homage. Quiet. I don't even know what. But yeah.
These are ones that are from channel sponsor Big Time Collectibles.
Mark, who was can you tell us who that
Amico.
2099 cover artist was?
I
It
think
kind of
it's-
looks
I
like
think
Lashley.
it's
Might be Miko.
This is not. This I think is Scon.
That's
Okay.
okay. It's gone. Yeah.
It's gone.
This
Ah!
that's Miko. I don't know who this artist is, but this is the MegaCon exclusive for House of Slaughter.
Nice.
And then this is David Nakayama for Gwynverse #2.
He's so good.
Nice.
He's so good.
And it's still going. Legal Burning donated some stuff to the channel that's getting sent out. So you have,
Wow.
I think that's Mandalorian. Looks like the Mandalorian.
Yep.
Darth Vader.
Oh my God, that is incredible.
Right?
Oh my God, look at that.
It's almost too good.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And so I threw in some of these that kind of go with the trailer of Black Panther dropping this month when I was building the box. We got some Jay Lee goodness. I just like that cover. And it's shiny.
Oh, the foil age was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was.
And
Oh,
I feel
the
like we're
night.
back in it.
I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
And then Black Panther #3, the Joe Jusko cover. That's the first appearance of Tosin, which is like
Issue
a
3?
lot of, yes,
Oh, wow.
a lot of
Mark.
big scoop on him.
That's a big giveaway.
And it's Jusko, so it's gorgeous.
Yeah. I know Jessica's one of your favorites too.
And then we have Black Panther issue #1, but it's the second printing because it was better. Because it's a sketch version of the Alex Ross cover in the CGC 9.8, and it is a wraparound.
Nice.
Yeah, that could be the best Alex Ross cover this year, in my opinion. Yeah, check the year.
It's from this year.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh, look, it's from January this year. Yeah,
Well, I know.
I mean, that's a good one. I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
flex.
I really like that he incorporated a large portrait of Storm there to represent his wife, really close to the right side of him. I really liked what he did with that cover.
You got Cap, She-Hulk. You got a lot
Yeah.
of characters on the front. A whole lot
Yeah.
of characters. Thor, Doctor
Yeah.
Strange. Yeah.
She-Hulk, yeah.
Definitely good stuff. So all of that will be in just a little bit. I'm gonna hang out and talk for a few first. And then, we'll probably
sorry, Nick. That T'Challa cover is just fantastic, man. He just has so much of the Avengers world right there. Reach
What is it
around,
on?
yeah.
Can't show.
Certainly is.
So
I
yeah,
know.
all right. I want to kick it off with Rings of Power. Like I'm gonna table She-Hulk because this is episode 3 or 4 of She-Hulk, but we got episode 1 of Rings of Power as well as Stargirl and episode 2 House of Dragon. So Rings of Power and Stargirl are the newest things to hit. So I'd like to kick off with those, both of which I was definitely happy with. So did everybody get a chance to watch those? I know Paul did. Paul's on those.
I didn't get to watch the DC one, but yeah, I watched the rest.
Ryan, did you watch Stargirl?
I did not see any of these things.
All right, Paul, we got this.
Let's chat.
All right, let's kick it off with Rings of Power. Then the most of us have seen Rings of Power. This was the like the return to Middle Earth. The first time we've had since The Hobbit, and it's done by Amazon. This is the most expensive television show to date, averaging at $60 million an episode. And you can see every single dollar on the screen when you watch it. This is absolute high quality. It definitely matches the tone and
Taylor.
style of what came before. But what did y'all think about it?
I really liked them. Like you said, I mean, it definitely every single dollar is up on the screen. It is equal to, in my opinion, the cinematic versions. Um, it's it's a slow burn. It's not something that's gonna knock you out of the park right away, but they're setting up, certain things, to play through the rest of the season. I think, when you got 8 episodes, although 8 hours is pretty much 3 movies for, Peter Jackson. You can't throw everything in the first 2 episodes. So there are some things that are still coming, and not everything hit on the head, but I was very happy with it. It got 25 million views, so it set a record on Amazon for the most views in the first 24 hours. Doesn't mean it's good, just means that people wanted to see it.
Yeah. So I was of the same. When I watched them, I watched it and I'm like, yeah, like it looks good. Like looks aren't going to get me because you can make anything look good. But I watched, like, yeah, I wasn't let down by it. It didn't blow me away. And then I was able to sit on it for a couple of days, and I was able to like think of little details. And I went back and even watched some of it again. And they hit on a lot of little details in there. The scene with the first like roll out an orc, that was actually really menacing. It was really intense. The sea creature scene was really awesome. But yeah, it's an intro, and they're introing it like how Lord of the Rings has so many plot threads all at once. They intro it out like that. But yeah, it was pretty good.
I think it's a very large web of storytelling that we're only the first couple steps into. I thought visually it was beautiful to look at.
Just the tip.
Just a tip. And we can play just a tip, but in the end, you're gonna go the full length all the way in, and I'm looking forward to that next week. I really enjoyed the part where we got to see the man crash into Earth and the three,
clearly a wizard.
The 3 or 4 of them. I believe it was 3, and to me, that's how mild comedy and a very sci-fi a fantasy adventure should be, where they're pushing this man up in this wheelchair, and then they all kind of bicker at each other the way kids do, and they turn around and the wheelchair is taken off. And I'm just like, I know that bit's been done 1,000,001 times over, but I thought the timing and the placement of it was really good. It's in, I think Mark may have said that in one of the chats. What I'm going to say was, Game of Thrones, the first season, was a slow burn too. It was a lot to take in. There was a lot of names you had to get used to, and by the end of season 2 of Game of Thrones, you knew exactly who everyone was. And now I get that a lot of these characters, this is our introduction to these characters, and it's the beginning of Middle Earth time, or the beginning of the Rings. I get why there's a lot of haters out there and everything, but but it's not me. I thought it was good. Am I going to say it was great?
To that point, this might ruffle some feathers. I 100% that the backlash against this show is 100% valid. They're not criticizing the quality of the show is the problem. Like with me, when you hear me like just dunk on something, it's because I think the quality of it's bad, and typically it's because you've crapped on the lore in the process. Like I don't think that most recent episode of She-Hulk was bad. I think what they did to Abomination was bad. I think what they did to their Wrecking Crew was bad, and that ruined the episode for me. But it still has good writing. It still has the quality of what they're doing is still there. Like Miss Marvel, I didn't care for Miss Marvel. I thought it was quirky and like a Nickelodeon show, but it was undeniably good quality. Like it was like there's a difference. So with Lord of the Rings, like the fans are like apparently diehards of this shit. And to DJ's point, he said in here, and he was joking about it. Beardless dwarf, count me out. People were literally mad and ready to burn this show down because the female dwarves don't have beards like they do in Tolkien lore. That's just one of many problems because this is not Tolkien. This is not Tolkien at all. Nothing about this is Tolkien other than some familiar names, and we'll see if they play out the characters in the essence of how Tolkien wrote them. I wouldn't know. I haven't read Tolkien like that, but this is 100% original Amazon stuff. Like it's
although they do use some of his appendices for some of the things as well.
Yes,
So
they
they do draw from it. I thought, I mean, you have the mysteries of, what's in the Dwarf King's box, right? You have will Galadriel actually find Sauron by the end of the season? You have who is the stranger, right? So you have these mysteries that are there. I thought the guy who played Eljon, if you could de-age Hugo Weaving, he would look exactly like that, I think.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job.
That guy looked odd to me. He, like every time he's on screen, I'm just like, his cheekbones are so defined. Like they're just there. Like he's just an odd fellow.
Yeah, I thought it was well crafted. Like everything. Like to me, the best part was the sea creature and that attack, and it was. Obviously you can tell a lot of it is green screen. It is television. A lot of it was made like Mark and I and Ryan referred to as COVID made. But yeah, it is what it is. Pound for pound, they were good episodes. They were just good. And I get there's haters.
It felt like Lord of the Rings, and a good measurement for that is I hated the Harfoots. Couldn't stand them. Thought they were completely insufferable. If you're wondering what a Harfoot is, it's a hobbit. Amazon does not have the rights to use the word hobbit because that's how little rights to this they have. People say they have some appendices. They have like a paragraph here and a paragraph there. They don't have any more than that. And they have the original trilogy. So if something's like said in the original trilogy, they can kind of use that. But a Harfoot is a hobbit, but they changed them to be nomadic. Instead of living in the Shire, they travel, and it's yeah, I'm with Taylor.
In pairs.
Instead of walking.
Yeah. It's true.
There's a little bit of walking. That's not true. No one's
not even the trees walk yet.
That's not. We did see the trees walk.
Yeah, I'm
one
joking.
cut scene when the was falling. And did you notice the one elf, the dude, the archer who was coming into town like macking on old girl? How their armor. I thought that they like ripped that from a tree, dude. It looked like Treebeard got skin alive and used his armor. I'm like, oh no, because he had leaves on his shoulders and it looked like a bark for shield with a face on it. I'm like, that's gross. You're literally wearing somebody's skin right now. Oh yeah,
it seems like I'll check out the next one.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. I'm hoping to be amazed because by the end of Lord of the Rings, by the end of Game of Thrones, I was really impressed when it all comes together like butt cheeks. It was an ENT on the elf's armor. And nobody explained to Mark what leather armor is. No, dude, I guess you missed the part where on his shoulder he had leaves. And on his chest it looked like tree bark. I know what leather armor is. It's a waste of leather.
That's only good for motorcycles. Okay.
Yeah. So am I the only one that watched Stargirl?
No, I watched it.
Well, we already answered that, Chris. What did you think?
I really liked it. It is, I think, by far. Well, maybe not by far, but it is the best DC property going right now, I think, on television.
Better than Harley Quinn?
I consider the animated stuff different than the live action.
Okay.
So
aggressive. You'd have to explain to us what you mean by faithful to the source material, since it's not sourcing from material for this.
It's fiction based upon the original fiction.
Yeah, this is fan fiction, Lord of the Rings, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's what it is, though. I enjoyed it.
Just at $60 million a pop.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of COVID.
Let's see. Stargirl is as it always was. Chewy scenery, fun, but not actually good. A lot like She-Hulk in ways.
Man. Why do you have to trigger the guy? Like, come on, TW. Come on.
I'm going to take a couple breaths before I even proceed. But it definitely is not. Stargirl is definitely true to the characters, true to the Conan style of what it's pulling from. And I thought this was a good first episode. Again, we're at a first episode, and this is season 3, and each season has its own theme to it. It has its own like name to the season. And this one's called Frenemies. So what we've seen from their battle with Eclipso in the last one, the people they were kind of fighting with, they had to like team together to get past Eclipso, and they're trying to see how they move forward from there. You know, like what kind of dynamic they have. And at the moment, it looks like everybody just wants to fit in together, whether they were trying to kill each other before or not. And it's just kind of throwing off the team dynamic. We saw one of the Injustice Society members, the Gambler, come back into town after I hadn't seen him since season 1, and he's supposedly looking for a kid of his that he's trying to right some wrongs with, and no one's buying it. And the first episode, he gets killed. He's assumed dead. We don't have a body, and by some mysterious character that we don't see, and that's pretty much where it ends off. But we do have Starman having returned, so we can already see there's going to be some rough dynamic between him, Courtney, and the cosmic rod, and just because to see who really owns it and whatnot. But it was cool getting to see him fly around with Pat with Stripes, and how he was like impressed with Pat for once, especially after the flashbacks making him look kind of douchey how he treated Pat in the past and everything. But it's a ridiculously fun show, like Taylor pointed out. But it is actually good. It's really well done. This is Jeff Johns' baby. Like, this is his most close creation in comic books to his heart. Like, there's no way this won't be exactly what it's supposed to be. Not a chance.
And he wrote the first episode too. He wrote the episode as well. And one of the producers is James Robinson, who wrote Starman, the series Starman too. So they both work on this series.
So back to Taylor's point, after hearing that, it's the polar opposite of She-Hulk. I love you, Taylor. I also sent you the link, Taylor, in case you want to come on here and argue with us. It's fun. Let's see what else. House of Dragons episode 2. Again, slow burn, but fantastic. Great episode. We have I found out too, this is the last episode before it time jumps forward. I don't know why. I just didn't have much information about this show.
I wasn't aware of that either, Mark.
Yeah, I assume like this is just the timeline we're living in, but apparently after this episode, we're going to do a little time jump forward to, I don't know how far. I think with the same characters, just more grown up. I know the lead actress that looks like Daenerys. I don't even know her name yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many names, but I know that she's like
Princess
22
Targaryen.
maybe, but she's like 22 years old in real life. I don't know how old she's supposed to be in the show. I think they're supposed to be in their upper teens. Like,
yeah, I thought I heard someone say like 15 or 16. She's supposed to be at this point right now, after she's been deemed the next in line.
So all I can assume is after the events of the second episode, we saw where the king whose wife died in childbirth in the first episode, he's being, as a king, he has to remarry and secure the throne and the legacy of the throne. And he doesn't want to. He's torn. He loved his wife and everything, but we see him make a decision to marry the 16-year-old companion of his daughter, who's also the king's right hand's daughter. So you can see all the little politics playing and people moving for power and everything. So I can only assume that we're going to time jump to maybe an adult pregnant her. You know what I mean?
Because the other option was a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and I do want to give a big shout out and a thank you to HBO, because that scene was awkward when he was trying to just like to walk around just to entertain the idea of like the actual correct political move. And I appreciate them pointing out that he did not like that. The kid did not like that. The parents did not like that. And there was also nothing sexual about it. And they had the conversation of that would come when people are of age, according to their culture and stuff. Like, I'm like, please don't go here. Please don't. It was
actually brilliant acting.
Yeah.
The more and more I watch this king, the more and more I can appreciate how much of a good actor he is, because he's portraying a king that can't clearly make a decision to save his life because his wife died, and he basically chose his wife to die. And what a scene that was. But yeah, he's been brilliant as being awkward and broken as much as a man could be. And the whole dynamic between now the Hand's daughter and Princess Targaryen, now that revelation, now that's going to be flipped upside down. That's good storytelling, like right off the bat.
Chris really relaxing is killing me with the comments tonight.
Yeah.
Also, the amount of chopsticks
one.
included in my sushi order were an obvious insult. You know this order wasn't for 7 people, and I don't appreciate the fat joke sushi place. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes next. There's Taylor Winder.
So what
Hello,
we really learned is that 15-year-olds are okay, 12-year-olds are bad.
Everyone's got to have the line that they just won't cross.
There's a line in the sand, man.
And for context, my great grandmother, who I grew up and was really close with, she didn't pass away till 2013 at 99. She was married and having kids already at 16, but that it wasn't that long ago that was in our society, that was normal. People had to get married early, young, so that they could break you in a factory before then.
And have 9 children. If you worked on a farm, you weren't having children. You were having free employees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably the only reason to have kids.
That's why people have 1 or 2 now.
More kids.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Rings of Power, Taylor? Let's catch up.
I really enjoyed it. It's not going to be for everybody because like you said, with so many plot threads going on, it's hard for them to have one main character that stands out. I do think that the Hobbits are probably going to be the highlight of the show when it gets going. But
those kids were good.
And the elves are wooden and annoying because elves are wooden and annoying. But it was gorgeous. It had enough to keep me going, and it had this sense of impending, this is all going to go horribly wrong real soon. That's all I really need out of a show right now.
Dude, I thought that the sense of impending, that scene when the orc crawled out of the cave, that was wicked.
Yeah,
that was
one.
Cool.
And I'm really hoping the man that fell to earth is not Gandalf, and I hope it's somebody else and someone evil, but you never know.
Yeah. So from my understanding, that's the thing that's different about the lore for this show versus the books or the mythos of Lord of the Rings. There's not wizards in this age or anything, and aggressively relaxing point out, there's not hobbits in this age, but they wanted them in there and stuff. So it's really going to cheese off of the same reason when I watched She-Hulk, because I grew up it doesn't help me that I grew up around comics. Just as much as I'm into comics now, I've been into them my whole life. So when I see them do something goofy with the Wrecking Crew or make the Abomination with the sister wives and everything like that gets such a bad taste in my mouth.
High school. Yeah, I know. I don't know what you.
I don't know if I want to take it that far, but it takes me out of the show, and then that just lingers with me. And
but the problem is with the online criticism is a lot of them are not legit. A lot of them are people mad that there's a black dwarf and a black elf, and those people can go right the fuck to hell.
Well, I would agree if that was the case, but I don't think that they care that there's a black orc or a black elf. I think they care that, again, to them in their perspective, they're diehard with the lore. So there weren't any in the comics or in the books. So they just want to see it portrayed like that. And it doesn't bother me, but I can't discount their criticism. If they made an Iron Man movie and they couldn't use the word Iron Man and they had to call him anything else, I wouldn't think they're doing me a favor and I'd be mad. Now that's just going to have different mileage for different people. Some people take this stuff really serious, and I don't want to sit here and call them racist for it because I don't think that's fair.
Oh, I will.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. I don't think that is. Some people just take this stuff real serious, man. Star Wars fans get like that too about their stuff.
Yeah, there's a difference between serious and just straight up 1 star. None of that was in Tolkien. There were no black people in Middle Earth. I think
that they were mad to begin with, and they're just trying to find everything that they can nitpick about it.
Yeah, they're just bombing it.
But I'm excited for it. It didn't blow me away, but it was a good setup. It was.
Yeah, I mean that's how I felt about the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon. It didn't blow me away with a good setup.
Dude, when what's her name? The Daenerys looking little girl.
Yeah.
Princess Targaryen.
When she rolled up with that dragon to get her egg back, I'm like,
I mean, that's a cool moment. I think both shows had some cool moments.
And then the dragon strikes the pose, just crawling along, take a step, man. I dare you, take a step. And he's not looking at the army, Matt Smith's army. He's looking at the other dragon, make a step, man. This is good.
She's the best one on the show. She can get aged out.
Matt Smith's dragon was so much bigger too. That's an older dragon. Now I love that dynamic between Matt Smith and miniature Daenerys. How they clearly love each other, and they, you know what I mean? Like they clearly got that cool bond, but you can tell like those are going to be the enemies of this show before it's all said and done.
Oh yeah, it's their show to run the table from here on out. You like
I never read the books of this either, and from what I understand, this is actually stuff that wasn't included in Game of Thrones. It could have been. It was stuff that was in the book that was omitted, like omitted flashbacks when they were making the series.
Mm-hmm. It does have a beginning and an end. Like we know the bloodline from here. We know when they fall and what happens to them, and the battles surrounding that era for that king, and then the next in line. Yeah, no, it's not like Game of Thrones, the final season, where it was all how do we want to do this because we have no source. But yeah, this is it has all of it. Okay.
Can't wait till the guy's dead. Which one? Uh-oh.
I think he's talking about the king.
Oh, the king. Yeah, he's not talking about you, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought, I really liked King Robert. King Robert is the one that was in the first season, lasted half a season. I call him the drunk king because he's always drunk.
Yeah.
I actually like this king better. Like as much as I enjoyed,
I said this king. I said this in another chat, and I'm sticking with it. This king is Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. He's just a one-term king at this point, but yeah.
Like a good person that should never be king, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't think this king's going to last whatsoever.
Oh,
he's too boring. He's definitely boring.
He can't make a decision
and
to save his life.
Taylor.
Yeah.
It's fun, but I'm sticking with what I said in the thing. I don't think it's actually a good show. It's entertaining, and much like I can watch She-Hulk and be entertained and have it on in the background. It fulfills what I need in that, like, oh, if I got some sketching to do or something else to do, I'll throw it on in the background. I do think, this is where you're probably not going to agree with me. I do think She-Hulk is generally better acted than Stargirl. I think Stargirl, they really chew the scenery and like.
Bro,
really
you know that Tim Roth is an actor in She-Hulk, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm not going to argue that with you.
Yeah, but like yeah, it's just, and I get they're aiming at a younger demographic, and I'm fine with it. I don't have any issues with Stargirl. It's just I don't think it's actually.
I don't think it. I think it's the acting gauge to that. Like they're not even pulling from the same the same budget of actors. Like they're.
Yeah, I don't. Well, come on, Luke Wilson.
Yeah,
and
the guy from Community, he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it falls in like a fine plus for me. I think it's like it's an entertaining show with an entertaining plot, but it's not going to win any awards.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah.
But if I have nothing else going on, I'll throw it on for an episode or two. That's kind of how I feel about both shows, honestly. So
well, now that we're all caught up on all that, it's a small reading week this week too. We all pretty much only have like 2 or 3 books.
We're not going to talk about She-Hulk collectively.
Oh god dang it! I forgot about that. Go ahead, Paul.
I thought it was okay. It was it didn't make me not want to watch the next episode, but I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
Brian, it's so good he doesn't even watch it. All right, Chris, you're up.
3.5 Maple Leafs out of 5. I thought it was fun. Again, I can understand why people are pissed off about the Wrecking Crew. I can understand Mark being upset about the Abomination. Again, like last week I said, they need to make sure that they use Tim Roth right, because not every day you can get an actor like Tim Roth. Then they turned around and sister wived him out, and I was like, well, God damn it, they pissed away Tim Roth too.
Unless it's all an act just to get him out of jail.
If he gets out and then he shows that sinister side, then if we get like that, just that little bit of a furrowed brow with Tim Roth, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
They got an actor like Tim Roth and they put him in Crocs.
Yeah. Well, in his defense, every other prisoner wears Crocs too. But,
yeah.
I wouldn't know that, but I'll take your word for it.
Taylor,
Tyler's a better twerker than She-Hulk.
Yeah, agreed. I mentioned this last week, Taylor, and I don't think that they're using this as an angle. Like my fear is that this is the new Abomination moving forward to the Thunderbolts, where he's going to be the big comedic relief on the team, where you have Taskmaster, not big on comedy. You know, Yolanda, is that how do you say her name? The White Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Not big on comedy.
Well,
John
she was actually pretty funny in the movie and in the.
She was bantering like serious sarcasm kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be
the USA agent, right?
US agent, not funny. You know, unless they
thank you, Marcus.
Yelena, thank you so much. Yeah, unless they change the characters farther to make them that way, he has the markings to be your big comedic relief on the team, which would be unfortunate in my opinion if they did that. But that's just because I love the Hulk comics. That's because I love Abomination as a villain.
I mean, at least and they did this in Shang-Chi, so it's not new here. At least they fixed his appearance from the Hulk movie.
Yeah, people were commenting about his ears, those goofy ears. Like, bro, those ears were finally on point.
Yeah,
that was amazing. His look, he looks great.
Yeah,
he looked fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about the twerk. I get that. That's the one that's making the rounds on social media. I couldn't give a crap. It's like Joker doing the dance down the stairs in the Joker movie. I couldn't give a crap.
Yeah, Hulk is such a light, fluffy show that it's hard to get mad at and hard to praise.
Again, the show is not meant for 47-year-old me. It's meant for the younger teen crowd that watch Disney Plus on the regular.
If this is aimed at a younger crowd, they're doing something wrong too. Because
it's just
I never heard of
older than Ms. Marvel.
The horse.
It's written by old people that are trying to be hip and young.
Yeah, I've never heard of this Megan the Horse until this show, and I had to go look her up. And there's nothing about her that you would like as somebody with a 15-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. 2 of those are daughters. I wouldn't want any of them not hearing who that is, seeing this show, then going to look her up. There's nothing about that person and her professional career.
You mean WAP is a song you let your family listen to?
There's nothing about this girl that you should want your children seeing or idolizing. Nothing about her.
Which means they're definitely going to.
Nothing about her. Like this is
kids rebel, man. That's how it works.
Rebelling is fine. I'm saying as a parent, you shouldn't want your kids to be looking into that. That's I agree. There you go. It's Kelly said it's made for 40-year-old me. Perfect. Yeah, and I'm just saying for kids. I think this is like a older kids, like a high school to like 20s.
Megan the Stallion.
The THEE, right?
2 E's.
She's
won Grammys. Like, come on.
Yeah, so I went and looked her up just to see if I'd recognize anything from her, because there's a lot of music that I hear that I don't know who sings it and stuff.
Right.
And, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't for kids, because I have a friend out in Vegas who called me and saying, the show's about like leaving a legacy for your kids and for your kids to have something to look up to. I'm like, bro, did you watch this 3rd episode? He's like, no. I'm like, well, go watch it and then we'll talk. That's just my opinion as a father. I don't necessarily want to I wouldn't want to sit down with my 15-year-old daughter and listen to Megan the Stallion or watch a music video on the TV. That would be ridiculously awkward. Like, that's inappropriate for a parent to do that.
They make videos still.
TikTok.
And the thing that I noticed on Instagram the past couple of days, of course, the memes of the twerking went out, which was a cringe. It was super cringe to me. I mean, I think it was funny, but for me, it was cringe. I didn't see that coming. But they started posting the pictures of her jump roping, the jump rope issue. And they're like, why are y'all so mad about her twerking? They had her jump roping naked in the comics and no one cared. I'll tell you who did care. They kept saying, y'all should read the comics. Y'all should read the comics. Look what she did. Y'all just don't read the comics. Blah, blah. Like, you didn't read the comics. In that comic, Jen Walters complained to us, breaking the fourth wall, that she is being reduced to this. It was an issue for her to be treated like that. But in the show, they take the polar opposite stance. And she wasn't naked for those that didn't read the comic. She's actually wearing something, but you can't see it. You don't know that until she stops jump roping. She's just wearing a 2-piece.
Old John Byrne.
Is he the same one that drew Storm's nipple? That's all up in everyone's mad about it? I think so.
Paul's nodding. Paul's like, yep.
Was it John Byrne that did that too?
I think so.
But I just thought there's some bad arguments going on for She-Hulk out there this week on both sides. Just like with the Lord of the Rings thing, like people are getting like heated about stuff these days. Heated.
There you go, TJ. That's the issue. They gave her extra.
My biggest issue with the twerking, they definitely gave her extra cake for twerking.
Hey, she just hulked out in the backside. That's all.
I
What is
understood
going
that
on,
reference.
Specs? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, I don't think She-Hulk is a bad show at all. I prefaced that earlier before you got here. I think it's a good show, but there's stuff that there's stuff like the horrible display of the wrecking crew, making the abomination into the husband and sister's wives. That kind of stuff takes me out of it because the jokes are just played out in Disney. Like, I know that She-Hulk is a lighthearted, campy book, but it doesn't stand out as that as a show because that's just all of MCU now. It's just they're beating a dead horse. They need to do something different, take it in a more serious direction.
It's funny, so Volume 2 She-Hulk is what Mark's referencing is the burn era on She-Hulk. That the breaking of the fourth wall and that storyline, or pardon me, though, all those issues. But everything I've read She-Hulk with is the complete opposite of that. Very serious character, lighthearted and warm. The Fantastic Four run I read, the Avengers stuff I've read with her in it as a main character, as the main powerhouse of the team. It's not the She-Hulk that I really grew up reading.
Do you think that if they use her in a different, if they use her other than this show, will they still have her break the fourth wall, or will they just ignore all this and have her be serious?
It blew my mind that she broke the fourth wall because I literally thought they were going to just save that strictly for Deadpool because they said they're not changing Ryan Reynolds when bringing him into the MCU in that. And
I think when we see Daredevil in this, we'll get a good metric on what they mean by not changing or changing. Let's see what they do with Daredevil. I think that's fair to let her do that though, because she's
also the run she is most known for. Is that run.
She's historically known for that. I would have been upset if she didn't do that. I enjoy that a lot, and that'd be cool. Like, that sets us up for future scenes where you have if we get a possibility of her and Deadpool sharing a film or show together.
Break the fourth wall at the same time?
Yes, to do it together.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking
to? Yeah, that would be great. Deadpool was working. Everyone's fine with it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's funny enough. That's all. I think they need better writers on the show and I could say that about half of the Disney shows.
Again, Tatiana Maslany, is that how you say it? She's an award-winning actress. They went out and got another good actress to play a main character, and I feel like she's suffering that Brandon Routh syndrome. This weak script for a very important character.
She's a very good actress. Orphan Black is a great show. What she is not is a comedic actress. And so I think she's having trouble with some of that. I don't think her timing is really great for the comedy, and I don't think that's helping matters. So, was Ambush Bug pre-She-Hulk? I don't know about that one, Pops, but yeah.
Ambush. He said Ambush Bug did it first. Yeah, Ambush Bug is way before She-Hulk.
Also, a very annoying character.
Mm-hmm. But very funny if written correctly.
Yeah.
You get a good
it's sort of how I feel about most comedy comics.
Yeah, that's not everyone has.
I love Howard the Duck, but I don't want Disney to come within a mile of him because they all screw it all up.
Those little cameos that he did a couple of times in MCU were perfect.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see Ambush Bug showing up on Stargirl. No, not really. It wouldn't fit in well, but
if he did it in passing, we
got Harley Quinn would be great. The animated cartoon, that would be great.
That got renewed for another season this week.
Yes. I so enjoy that show. So enjoy it.
Why has nobody mentioned that the wrecking crew were after her blood? What if they were promised a Hulk up if they got it? I think because nobody noticed it. I mean, we all saw it. We all heard it.
I think that's going to be the rest of the season, right?
Well, that's how they're going to. That's how they're going to tie in Daredevil. Right? It's probably Kingpin doing it. So,
could they bring in Kingpin to save this show?
We're 3 episodes in, and what's really the plot of She-Hulk? Has anyone got one? Is there one yet?
No, it's just she wants to not be She-Hulk, but she wants to be She-Hulk, but she
Yeah.
doesn't want to be
I mean,
She-Hulk.
like the story plot, not like.
No,
It's
there
gonna
isn't
be
one.
it's gonna be her accepting that she's She-Hulk,
I
and
mean,
accepting both identities.
the last two bits of the Wrecking Crew, or the last 2 seconds, were the most plot we've had as far as anything that has a through line. So,
Like we all
Tim
saw
Roth
it.
wanting out of prison.
Definitely
Like,
all
come on,
saw it.
that's like the whole story plot right so
Yeah.
far.
I've seen that the purpose of the Wrecking Crew. I just want to know if they'll be successful. Not that crew. Yeah, the entirety of the Wrecking Crew were, in my opinion, super lame. They look like a bunch of hobos with light up Nerf weapons. Or
they're
Nerf.
kind of lame in the comics too, though.
But they're
first,
not.
I thought they had
They
like
have,
tools like what
incredible
Vulture
beasts.
had, like in the first Spider-Man movie.
I didn't think about that, but they just had Asgardian tools. Literally, Asgardian tools. Yeah, we'll see. But back to Retro Rockets comment about you might just have to wait to see how it plays out in the end. But we're here on a weekly basis, so we just kind of talk about it as we go. Like it can all come together. It has the ability to. WandaVision did more or less, pretty well. But that was a really good story structure to that show.
Yeah, right. I remember talking about that and what in the world is going on? This is horrible. This is terrible. Like, what the hell? And then, like I've said it a couple times on Mark's show now, it's aged very well.
Yeah, the more that Disney makes, the better that the older stuff looks.
Well, yeah, I think they're much more willing to take chances with the earlier stuff, like Loki and.
Yeah, Loki
everything
was
looks
good.
like it comes off of an assembly line where they're just rinsing and repeating.
It's starting to feel like the comics.
You just put a character and you just press and you get the same exact thing you just had.
Yeah, you just described all of Marvel Comics right now too.
It's just a shame that they were like, oh yeah, people are tired of origin stories. We're gonna stop doing origin stories. Oh wait, we can do TV. Okay, we're doing origin stories again. They're just gonna be a season instead of one episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did different with She-Hulk, but then
I get why you need the origin stories for these characters that the mainstream meat has no clue about. But yeah,
I mean the thing is, I haven't seen any of She-Hulk, but based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like a hero's journey. Like she denies the call to action, and then she takes the call to action.
Yeah.
So if every origin story is just going to be the hero's journey over and over again, then we kind of already know what they all are.
Yeah, Joseph Campbell would roll over in his grave to this. Yeah, you got the denying the power in really just the first episode. Then she just works at her law office, and she's a She-Hulk that works for superhero law stuff.
Yeah.
I think. You want to talk any comic books?
I would love to.
I'm getting depressed talking about Disney. we don't have Mr. Paul for much longer. Chris is on holiday, as they say in Canada.
It's true. Well, the whole continent, but yeah.
I work in the morning.
I don't know. Does Mexico have
Labor Day? They should. They if they don't, they should. They should. Those poor people. They should.
Those people.
Those people, man.
I didn't say you people. I said those people.
Now you offended for somebody else. Isn't that what outrage culture is?
This was really good.
Y'all want to kick off to talk some Superman World Apocalypse? Taylor, have you been reading the Philip Kennedy Johnson?
No, I've not been reading it, so I'm out on this one. But
all right, well, go ahead, Chris. Paul, Ryan. Let's let Ryan start because he's.
Ryan has
I take a back seat to all the TV talk.
Let me see if I can remember. Since I read this Tuesday, I mean, this was our big showdown. We got all the finality. Absolutely beautiful. Like everything has led up to this so well that we didn't need any setup. Like we basically just went right into it. There was a lot of great twists and turns in this fight. It did a great job of setting up the future without doing one of the things I guess I was kind of critical on Rom V for last week was oh, we're gonna have this epilogue that basically kind of sets something up for maybe in the future down the road, possibly, and instead we got all of that in the issue and we didn't need an epilogue to pull it off. So I thought that was great. And look at this guy.
No, my
What
keyboard
happened?
did that.
What happened?
And yeah, this was, I mean, it was awesome. It was like a great showdown, a lot of good wrap up and stuff. And it was a perfect bow on the end of the War World Apocalypse War thing. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like whenever we get back to Earth. It's very different from Future State. Like, nothing like Future State.
Nope. Well, we just got well past that real quick as well. Anybody else?
I thought it was a great ending. I mean, I think if to me, it had almost a cinematic feel to it. The battles and everything. They did a really good job of kind of, if you can make a comic feel like an epic, this to me felt like the end of an epic. The battles and everything that they had there. And then obviously he brought it right back at the end to Metropolis, and Philip Kennedy Johnson says that for everyone who thought that he was going to forget about Lois and Metropolis and everything, he has big plans for them as well. So. He can do more than just write, these big battle things or, aliens and predators or whatever. He can do the superhero stuff as well. So, I thought it was a great ending to what was truly just, one of the greatest Superman stories that ever happened in the last couple of years. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. To your point, like this would be the way to handle like the like TV movie dynamic that is potentially there. Like build out your whole saga like over the course of a season of like 6 episodes or whatever they do nowadays, and then like have an issue like this is your final, just like go to the theater and see like this big like all out brawl. Half the budget is on the whole season, the other half is on this whole movie. $100 million or however they budget things anymore. Like this would be amazing to just like be able to like go through the whole saga and see all of that on TV and like decent quality, and then go to the theater and get like this big like slugfest that really like ties up your whole epic.
Yeah, there was well, first off, thank you very much, Mad Spidey, to the Australian $7.99. Big shout out to Mad Spidey. Be sure to go check out his channel. He's always doing awesome stuff over there, statue unboxings. He hangs out over here a lot, and he's also nominated twice in the CBC Awards this year. So be sure to check out cbcawards.org and go support Brian LCS and what he's doing to do something fun for the community. A lot of familiar faces over there, as well as a lot of new channels you can discover. Taylor Winder is also nominated, and the Comic Vet down there is also nominated. So there's some really cool moments in this book, and Philip Kennedy Johnson has delivered them in every issue where you get a major that's Superman. You just get that feel, you're like, yes. And then this, like we saw Superman have to go find like this ultimate power to even try to shut down Mongol, and he gets it in the form of a weapon pretty much. And when it comes down to fighting Mongol in this, like Mongol kills a kid, and Superman sacrifices that power to bring that kid back to life, and Mongol sits there and does the whole villain thing, like you'd waste such a treasure on a worthless stray, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you would choose weakness and death for nothing. Why? And Superman just looks at him and he tells him, this is why you could have never won. And he just grabs his shield, he grabs his sword, looks at Mongol, says, now get up and fight me. Like yes.
Kal-El saying fight me.
Yeah, he finally said it out of this whole buildup, like Mongol finally crossed the line, like this is it. Game over. Let's go. And then we had another really awesome moment where Manchester Black, of all people, kind of came through in a pinch when Mongol's whole army, as well as some of the authority that were there that Mongol had taken over, were just ravaging them. And then all of a sudden, it looks like a portal opens up and the whole JSA rolls in. And when it comes to find out, it's just Manchester Black using his abilities to cast those visions and shut down Apollo. And they were actually able to get Apollo back because of that. But that whole moment was really cool, I thought.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments or lines in it was whenever, I think it's Manchester Black, right? He's like, and he tells Midnighter, he's like, and you wanted to destroy the sun whenever the Philosians get their power and kind of turn things around. He's like, so good thing you didn't destroy the star generator, right? He's like, whatever.
Hey, I gotta run, folks. But I also read the Flash annual. Really like that. Thought it was a great story. And then I also read the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man 1000. I told Mark earlier I stopped collecting it at 950, so I didn't realize that they were up to 1,000 already.
999 is a collector's edition if you can find it.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much. I will see you next week. And
right,
I will
Paul.
talk to everyone later.
Yeah,
Take care.
Have a good night. So to Paul's point, the joke about 950 is the Amazing Fantasies 1000 is actually Amazing Fantasies 53. There's not even 54 issues of Amazing Fantasies in existence, but Marvel thought we should put out an issue 1000. They acting like they earned it or something and put one out there. I don't get it. No one gets it, but it's fun, I guess.
If you add up Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Fantasy, then you get to 1000. I
seriously doubt it. What issue of Amazing Spider-Man are they on? You might.
They're approaching, or is it 900? The one that's coming out now. So
yeah, we're not there yet either. So
right.
we'd be at like
all the
another
annuals and everything.
Piece of crap.
Yeah, right. It was okay.
Hey, would you read it?
Okay.
So
I'm not
delayed
giving Marvel
gratification,
any more
not
money
in the Marvel playbook.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk about World Apocalypse. We like the three of us for the better part of a year and a half, over a year and a half ago, we were collectively, Mark, Ryan, and I were bitching that Superman needs a writer. Superman needs a writer. Batman's got a writer. Spider-Man needs a writer, but Superman.
No, we were bitching about the Batman writer too.
Yeah, but most of all, Superman. See, it's true. We just bitch. Hey everyone, good night.
Is this what we have become?
Spider-Man, the Batman.
Did I just explain the whole formula to everyone what we do? Anyway, but we were saying collectively for years and years there has been a good Superman storyteller. There's been beautiful takes of Superman, but most of the time they get them wrong. I remember even the almost 2 years ago where we had that scene where Superman said, "I could kill you if I wanted to," and like. The collective will write, this is not how Kal-El speaks. This is not how Clark speaks. And Philip Kennedy Johnson hit the nail on the head. Everything that happens in this book is true to the Superman mythos. That he would have no problem lying, yeah. That he would lie down his own life for someone else, even for someone that he doesn't know. That's the whole premise of why he is Superman. And I get like every writer needs to do a little bit of something to make it look like he has a formidable foe. Like we have a brand new Mongol for this, and this one is incredibly menacing. So they depower Superman or age him up a little bit further, and the tie in Jonathan before he goes to War World was a beautiful story. And then how Jonathan in turn has to go create his own Justice League while he's away is still good storytelling. This is a master class in how to write Superman in continuity, because the best Superman stories of the last 25 years have happened outside of continuity. So that's why I'm proud of this story. I'm glad that for the better part of 16, 18 months, we finally had a chance to talk about Superman the way that he should be, as the premier superhero above all. And when you factor in Batman and Spider-Man, the three big ones, Superman's storytelling over the last year is by far superior to both Spider-Man and Batman put together.
So you're saying Superman is the franchise?
I'm just saying, finally, we have a good Superman story, and we have a writer that figures him out.
Yeah, I think
he's figured him out.
Bendis was trying to do too much too many things that, like, when people look back years later, that was Bendis's run where he did that. That was, I don't know. It was such a big fanfare when he was coming over to the title, and it's just crazy how it all played out. But it feels great to have a person that just really knows, like, Clark's voice very well is the best way to describe it.
It seems to care about it. It's not just a paycheck, because there's been Action Comics and Superman monthlies where they're just mailing it in.
That's called the 80s and 90s and 2000s and 2010.
Oh man!
Like I said, outside continuity, there's been great Superman stories.
2000s were fantastic. That's when you had like Jeff Johns, like in his prime.
I'm talking to Superman.
Yeah, I can't really argue that.
Yeah.
Just say, outside of continuity, there's fantastic Superman stories, but inside continuity, there hasn't been. Like, you can go back to the death of Superman and say that. Well, what's happened since then? That's been fantastic storytelling at this level that we've had for the last year.
I think he's just like how people talk about he's a hard character to try to do anything on film with. He's also hard to do in comics. Like, he's hard to write. He's hard to write because he's been around for so long. Whether you're into comics or not, you grow up knowing who Superman is and what he represents and what he means, and everyone will have a little bit of a different definition of that, but overall it'll be the same. So when people are writing him, how are you going to play to that many people?
Well, it's hard to write about a Boy Scout.
Boy Scout or incredibly kind.
It's like writing about Canada.
So if you haven't, yeah, exactly.
It's
So
Ryan
tomato
K. Vaughan
place.
did it right. Ryan K. Vaughan, look up, we stand on guard. Never mind.
So this did bring Superman back to Earth. It ended with Lois in his arms above Metropolis, and so he's back. So with the next issue of Action Comics, if you have not checked out Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman stories, if you think you don't like Superman, or if you think you know Superman and that's why you don't read it, I highly suggest giving it a try. Check it out, because Ryan is a perfect example of somebody who tried out Philip Kennedy Johnson Superman just to try out Superman. Not because it was Philip Kennedy Johnson, but just I've never actually read Superman books. Let me see. And you just hit it at the right time.
Yeah.
Did this issue bring back the Fourth World?
No, and not in the sense, not Kirby's Fourth World like we were expecting. It brought
As a
back
solicit's all we're saying.
Yeah, and see, and I talked on that too. I was excited. So now there was one thing. There was a little tease in there. The Death Racer was in there. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but the Death Racer was obviously one of the people that Mongol had under his control. And after they shut down that generator and depowered like Mongol's army and everything, you see the Death Racer in one panel with his posts walking off. I'm like, I caught that.
In my opinion, if they do the Fourth World, it has to be an event. I mean, crisis level. You got to give us 3 or 4 issues where it's strictly that. It can't be a tail end of this storyline. I get that Philip Kennedy Johnson is a writer that can handle it, but I really think for DC continuity, it has to be an event level reintroduction.
I don't know if they need to do that, but they can do it in like the way they just did this, like do it in a saga, like I think we would be good to have like maybe 2 issues of something, like give us 2 filler issues of action, just bringing him home and then start the next saga. Like he doesn't have to leave Earth for it, but this worked really well being a longer drawn out story. Like, and I think to Taylor's point, like those mail-in stories, they're always just like, 3, 4 just quick turnaround story issues, and it just really doesn't amount to much. They're just misadventures, more or less. This was actually worth collecting, worth going out and buying the hardback for. It was good. It was a good format for reading it.
Yeah, I would like to see Clark like touch base with Jonathan, check in with them. I'm just gonna be like, yo, like kind of focus on the negative. Like, look, I messed up on this. I did this wrong. I got that wrong. I'm glad you're back, so you can like help me out. And Clark's like, nah, dude, like I'm proud of you. You made the right decisions. You made the best choices with the information you had at hand, and like you got this situation under control, and like bounces out to like handle the next thing. I think that's where like he could serve well. Like give some guidance to Jonathan, touch base with Earth, maybe meet up with Lois and have a good time or whatever, date night, I guess, and then like let's get him into something.
Father.
Netflix and chill. Yeah.
That's what he needs right now,
I wonder if they're really seeding like some Apocalypse New Genesis stuff, because Philip Kennedy Johnson did have the Death Racer backup story and the Future State stuff, and the Death Racer proper made an appearance in this finale, and they hadn't even been showing him in the other stuff throughout the book. They just made sure that we saw that he was there. And I don't know where they're going to timeline this with Dark Crisis, but we know what's going on with Darkseid right now. He's part of Pariah's Dark Army. So depending on where they timestamp this in the bigger continuity, we don't know. But that would be something that I would really enjoy if they kind of explored next. Because if we're going to do like epic Superman stories and not just mail-in filling stuff and like how do you write a Boy Scout, you're going to have to do stuff like take him to Apocalypse. Take him to Genesis.
Is Philip Kennedy Johnson staying on the title?
Yes,
For
sir.
action, yeah.
Yeah, he's staying on it. He's not going anywhere, thank God.
I think it's going to age well. Maybe not to the Superman mythos that Kingdom Come has reached.
That's Elseworlds, though. Like that's
Right. But
like
that's what I'm
greatest
saying. Like the
comic.
best Superman stories are the ones that always happen outside continuity. I think this
Mhm.
one is going to age very well in the years to come. The War World saga of Superman.
Mhm.
And
Completely agree. So another one real quick that I read that no one else will have read is this Power Rangers Unlimited drop. These have been like one shots, just giving you different time place stamps on Power Ranger stuff. It had a really cool little Montez cover. But the big issue 100 is coming up next, which is like the finale to the story arc they're on. And this would give you the backstory of the villain that they're dealing with right now in this one, which was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was really weird at times, but a lot of the Power Ranger stuff is when you stop dealing with like the TV show characters and go into it's original for comics kind of thing. Anyone else read Flash, or we only find them when they're dead?
We only find them when they're dead. Yeah. That was a good issue. I enjoyed it. Back to like the political intrigue and stuff. What's that guy's name?
Theory.
No. The other guy. The one that got betrayed.
By his daughter?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forget his name.
With one issue.
Starts with a B. I don't know. I saw that coming though. Like whenever, huh?
Just call him Brandon.
Yeah. So whatever he like stared down the sniper, you know, I was like, oh okay, like, and then he's like not in front of my daughter and stuff. The way she's sitting there, I was like, oh yeah, she's about to turn on him. Like this is about to be like some Game of Thrones twists here. And then sure enough, she shows up at the end of the issue, and you know, she pulls out her piece and is like, yo, I'm not down with all this. So she's freeing Thierry, and we're going to find out more about what has become of Malik's people and this weird worshiping cult thing that's going on.
One bad thing that came out of it was that super cool character that we got introduced in that last issue, that cockroach who survives at all costs. He died horrifically in this.
Yeah. Yeah, they really built him up in that last issue just to be like, oh yeah, never mind.
Well, it was kind of like worked out perfect because like how he kept talking about how like the only goal is to survive no matter how many other people die or whatever happens. And for him to go to such great lengths and to die so slowly and painfully, like getting dismembered systematically by a machine just to torture you, I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
Being back on what's the name of this place? It's Malik Station or something. It was
Malik
cool.
Station.
It was cool being back there since that's where the whole second volume took place, or second arc took place, and what was left of it, and the mindset that leader had of like how everyone's lost and it's up to the words he says to kind of steer everything, and kind of just have that God complex or whatever. But it was kind of a filler issue. We revisited here just to see what was going on since we last left it, just to move on from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it though. I like the conversation that happens here, you know, like the issue before this, we got like the weird like action sequence right at the end where they're like, oh yeah, like he's gonna use the blade and cut the throat and stuff. Like that was cool, but I really liked the political intrigue and like just the straight dialogue stuff. And so I thought this issue did that better because they didn't interrupt it with anything extra. It was just like, yeah, everybody's turning on everybody.
We're just going to have to really bring the heat in the next issue. We don't have time for stale issues. I think we got like 2 issues left of the entire series.
Yeah, it should be 2 issues. This was 13, so we should have 14, and then 15 should end it.
And that'll be a wrap. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like it doesn't end no matter what they do, just because of out of it. No matter There's no way to actually put a solid ending.
I mean, other than characters like carrying across every issue, such a time jump. I mean, this one jumped between like 50 years or something like that in the single issue. So, like, there's really no like actual ending to this, which is kind of the beautiful thing about it is that there's like so much space to explore without having to pull like the Batman game where it's like, oh yeah, remember that 1 year of my origin story where I met that one guy that I never talked about, but now it's like the most important year of my existence ever. Like, there's just like so much space in between that they can add in stuff here and there. They could continue going forever. I just don't know that they have the audience for it.
No, I think it's just like you and me reading it.
Yeah, I gave up on it a long time ago.
Anybody pick up the Flash annual? It was fun. It was a good annual. We had Linda get some speed powers, and she's not sure how or why it happened, and she hasn't really had time for Wally to slow down and them to discuss it and talk about it. She's also been working on writing a book, and this kind of touches on some of Linda's plot threads and kind of just goes ahead and wrap them up. They're able to have that discussion. Wally's able to sit down and read her book, and a lot of this book, the primary amount of this story, is the actual book as Wally reads it. So you're seeing what Linda writes and how she sees. Like, you know what I mean? But it was a fun little side story built into it in that format, and they were able to have a little bit of time together. So it was good. It was good. It was fun. It was a good annual. I can see you. How are you hiding? You're standing right in front of me. Like 3 steps and went.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for reading. You guys, anything else you want to showcase that you read? Any reads this week, Taylor?
I mean, I read a bunch of crap, but nothing really good, honestly.
Chris, you got anything else? What do you think?
I read this. It was silly. I probably won't pick up issue 2. This was the read of the week for me. Yeah. This had a couple short vignettes that were okay. I'm actually digging Stephanie Phillips' take on Harley right now.
I love that cover.
Yeah. And I picked this up. I haven't had a chance to get into it. And I haven't had a chance to get in House of Slaughter 8 yet. However, I am I'm still enjoying this arc.
I thought it was only 6 issues.
The second arc is so much better than the first arc.
Is it about the same character?
Yeah, the custodian of time. That's he's now sent on a field mission to do with monsters that are lakeside. It's good. Basically, we have someone that's completely untrained sent out into the field because all the monster hunters are in action right now and or chasing Erica at the moment.
So it's caught up with like the normal timeline in House of Slaughter then?
It's in and around. They touch on her just a little bit.
Yeah, so that character, the first arc was about is gone. I forget his name. He died in like issue 7 or something.
Aaron? Mm-hmm.
Aaron, yeah. So that first volume was Aaron's backstory, right? Now we're just...
Right, but that story set up the crush that Aaron had. It set up that young monster hunter who's now in forward time is now looking to find out why Aaron died. So I'm presuming now he is going to be the next arc in Something Is Killing the Children. And aggressively relaxing. What's my take on Dan Slott returning to Spider-Man? Again, I guess Chip Zdarsky did miss that phone call. So
he's busy.
Yeah,
he's real busy.
Yeah, Batman, Daredevil. Yeah, his Batman's been actually all right to go.
You mentioned that you don't give Marvel any more your money. Are you reading anything from Marvel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I just don't give. Like, I'm not paying for those anthology crap books anymore. I did read the only Marvel. I read 2 Marvel books this week. I read Variants number 3. Which
is that still a Jessica Jones story?
It's an okay story. The Phil Nota's art bugs the hell out of me, and it really bothered me in this issue. There's some scale issues where 2 variants of Jessica Jones are supposed to be the same size, and one of them looks like a 4-year-old girl. It's very disturbing. And then the other Marvel book I read was that, I won't get issue number 2. I just whatever. Thunderbolt.
Are you picking up Ghost Rider or Punisher or any of the back
I
series.
stopped on Ghost Rider. I stopped on Punisher. I'm probably gonna keep up with Ghost Rider, although I really didn't like the Hell Race issue.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the next issue is kind of capping that off too.
And then I'm reading Moon Knight, and is that it? I think that's probably about it for Marvel that I can think of. So,
what issue did you stop on Punisher at?
3 or 4. I mean, I thought it's fine. It just wasn't. I don't care about the Punisher character to begin with.
Okay, I was going to say I highly recommend getting back into that. If dude, that's probably the best Marvel book coming out right now.
Are you reading
Ghost Rider?
No, Punisher.
Moon Knight's pretty decent. Jed McKay does a good Moon Knight, but
I've heard good things about that
delving
Moon
into
Knight
psychological issues and stuff. So
I don't know. I still think Daredevil is the best.
yeah, Daredevil. I forgot about Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil.
I was gonna ask, did y'all read issue 2?
Yeah, I like Daredevil.
Like, I guess number 2 of like whatever number this is. I jumped on with number 1 and number 2. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna read anymore because this made like no sense to me.
It's another annoying Marvel thing where they rebooted for no real reason.
Yeah,
same creative team, same story, still ongoing. Not a good jumping on point for new readers.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, well, at least it's gonna be like a soft reboot. Maybe I can get on board. And then like reading, I was like, oh no, there is no soft reboot to this at all.
Yeah, Punisher and Ghost Rider 6 are out this new comic book day.
Yeah, and I would put Ghost Rider as probably my favorite Marvel book that was coming out. Had it not hit this 2-issue, why are we doing this moment? Because the whole tone, the whole style, everything went from being what it was, like this, like comparable to a Immortal Hulk style, like rebranding of Ghost Rider, to right back to like cliche Marvel stuff. Like, why are we doing this goofy race? Like, why is Moon Knight, why is Man-Thing, why is Doctor Doom, why is Wolverine all of a sudden in a race with each other on where'd they even get their motorcycles? Like, it did not fit the tone or the style of what we've been doing before. But
yeah, I agree with on that one. It was out of left field. It's like, what in the hell is this?
So as soon as we get past that, so this issue, the next issue, we're going to be dealing with Wolverine and Ghost Rider picking up where that left off. And I hope that they don't really, well, I mean, we saw a little tease in that last one with whatever's inside of Johnny's head kind of coming out more and covering him
Kindred.
up. Yeah, we saw Kindred in there.
What it looked like.
It did. It really did.
I suffered with them. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Right, y'all want to give away some books and head out of here for the night?
Yeah. One last thing. New Fantastic Four. I know that was Mark's hot pick last month or a few months ago. I thought going through the first one, I thought it was going to be cheese, just pure fromage. It's actually been really fun. What Savage Avengers could have been is what the new Fantastic Four truly is right now. I'm not sure if it's a limited series or if it's supposed to be ongoing. Okay, it's been a lot of fun, and it might be the best Spider-Man story going right now.
All right,
sad but true.
Walmart's gathering the books. Best indie book you all should be reading, if you're not, is Do a Powerbomb.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah. It has potential to be the best series of the year.
8 Billion Genies.
So all of these,
both
like Maestro that they've done. What was the other one that they did? Silver Surfer Rebirth. Love Me Some Legacy. And New Fantastic Four. These are all retro books. They're written in the time era of when the creative teams were on them and stuff and all that. And they're super fun. So you go into them with the right mindset. And I still read older comic books, and they're really enjoyable. So that's why I was asking if you're reading the retro books. Those are the ones I was kind of referring to.
Oh, that got you. Yeah, I read the Rebirth. It was fun. It's usually the same writers that were back in the day too, at least, if not.
Yeah, that was Ron Lynn and Ron Mars on it. Yeah. So you have Peter David on Genesville.
Mike, I thought the same thing. I don't really care about pro wrestling all that much, but it is a fantastic book.
It's great storytelling.
I have zero interest in pro wrestling, and that book is so good.
Becker's such a troll.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm just being the straight man to his.
We'll have to write a little like DC or Marvel or whatever he's into on the corner of it.
Yeah, it's no New Warrior.
Becker's the biggest wrestling fan that any of us know.
Yeah.
But there is hope for the Fantastic Four. There is a new volume starting up, I believe, in 2 months. Ryan North is going to be helming the Fantastic Four. So no more Dan Slott. I know a lot of people actually been saying Dan Slott's
Aggressive
Fantastic Four was
Relaxing
good.
said Dan Slott did a great job with it.
I'm looking forward to Ryan North taking over the FF, and we'll see where it goes from there. But
He's Canadian.
Yeah, is he?
I don't know.
His last name insinuates he is.
Yeah, he's a Canadian writer.
No relation to Peter, though.
This
Anyways,
is what we're giving away tonight. This is the monthly Legion loot box that I do for the channel members. If you want to get in on all that, it's that blue button down below that says join and get you access to loyalty badges next to your name. You get to play with the custom channel emojis. You get early access to videos that I do. And you also get a new member welcome pack. So if you're watching and you haven't got one of those, which I think everyone I've seen in the chat tonight has, reach out to me on IG and I'll get a welcome pack out to you. But Big Time Collectibles sponsors the channel and supplies books for it. And I'll always add some more stuff to it. And we have Gwynverse #2 by David Nakayama going in there.
Awesome.
Just for Chris, this is House of Slaughter #6, the MegaCon Virgin exclusive. I'm not sure who that character is. Stop reading
cover.
it.
I'm sure he's important to a bunch of people.
Nico
out there.
Suyon's
He's literally the
Lethal
lead of the
Protector.
book.
They that wasn't a new Lethal Protector they did a couple months back, was it? It was just a reprint with new covers when they did that. I don't know.
I thought it was a new storyline set in that same time.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go lurk in the audience while you do this. But thanks for having me on, Mark. Appreciate it.
Taylor, take it easy.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2099 Exodus #1. I believe that's a Skan Swarsawin, however you say his last name. Szechuan. Darth
There
Vader.
you go.
That is incredible.
Darth Vader artwork by Legal Burning
Yeah.
on Instagram. Be sure to check him out. There's his stuff. Randy's a fantastic guy. He hands burned these with a woodworking tool. And
Wow.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter by Randy as well.
That as well.
Jesus.
And then I threw in the extra stuff this month. I try to do a theme to it. And this was because the Black Panther trailer dropped. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I'm excited to see Namor on the big screen. So we got that Jay Lee Namor foily.
That's a particularly impressive foil cover.
Yeah, isn't it though? Looks scaly.
A lot of them are kind of like cringy, but that one,
Yeah,
I guess, like the green, just kind of like makes it work.
That's why I like the what is it, Chris? Web of Spider-Man.
Thank you, Nick.
Is Web of Spider-Man 100 the armor Spider-Man suit?
Yeah. The green with the green
foil?
background. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. That may have been a spectacular Spider-Man cover.
It definitely was Web of Spider-Man.
Web.
Yeah, I only remember it because I love the armor suit. Like the 2099 and armor suit are my top two suits. I know it sounds crazy, but I was a kid when all that stuff dropped, so it was amazing. I even had the toys. Like it had like the little shield, the little silver shield, and the stiff arm. It just shot it.
Yeah.
Black Panther #3, the Joe Justo gorgeous cover. First appearance of Tosin. I don't know if he has more than one name, so it's like Seal or Cher, just Tosin. But a gorgeous book, got some spec heat value to it. And then we got that CGC 9.8 of Black Panther #1, the second print to get that Alex Ross sketch goodness with the whole team on there with him. I love that he's got the cape on there. I think Black Panther looks awesome with the cape.
So just by comparison, how special that book is, this is the colored one.
Most Panthers I see in the wild typically have a cape, so I'm glad that Alex Ross includes the cape on this. So Chris is going to be sending the color copy to the winner tonight as well. So be sure to hit him up on IG, whoever wins.
The Walmart version.
So yeah, and the CGC 9.8, that'll be going to one lucky winner. And we're going to go and pull that wheel of names up right meow, and we're going to see who that's
Osun
going to be.
Aduye. Thank you, Nick.
Boom. I was reading some of the comments just then. Share screen, Chrome tab. Let's see. Wheel of names. Are
you going to read all the names?
No, there's 53 names, and these are for the channel members in the Legion tier. If you're in the Legion supported tier, it does not get you access to the monthly giveaway. So if you would like to get included in the monthly giveaway, and I guess I could show some of what's coming. I did share it on the channel. We have the Austin LeMay artwork will be in the next one. So it'll be what is that? Something is Killing the Children number, I think it's 16. But I bought 2 of them off Austin LeMay. I've got an Erica 1-of-1 sketch and a CGC 9.8 and a what's his name, the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So those one of 2 of those will be added in with the big time collectible stuff, and then there'll be just one's going in per month. And I'll do something else and then get back around to it later with the other one.
So yeah, the sketch cover variants were out issue 11 and issue 16. Yeah.
I believe they're both issue 16.
Okay.
Because it's the same issue. He just picked up 2 blanks for it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and spin this, guys. Again, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Consider joining the Legion. And here we go. So the August Legion loot winner is going to be
The Comic Vet.
Hoarder's Hide.
Whoa.
Scott,
Way to go, Scott.
Boom. So definitely good stuff there. Congratulations to Scott, and I thank everybody for supporting the channel in any fashion whatsoever. And big shout out to the channel members. I appreciate you guys. It makes this possible. The more channel members I get, the more that I'm able to buy to put in here. So I try to put the money back into the channel, like with the Ultimate Fallout 4 giveaway and this, and buying those off Austin. Try to get stuff that people like. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate everybody. I've got wrestling to go get caught up on. Appreciate Headquake Jr. for not putting it in the chat. I had my mods on standby to kick him out if he did. I really didn't. But Ryan, you got anything dropping anytime soon? Or are you still busy?
Pretty busy right now.
Awesome. People can still get caught up on the stuff you've already posted on. Where at?
Cosmic-campfire.com.
And be sure to go check out Chris the Comic Vet over on his channel. He just posted the CBC Award nominated show today over there. Be sure to go check him out. Go vote for him at cbcawards.org. And also got channel merch. I gotta start pushing that more. I gotta get it linked up on my YouTube. But legionofcomics.shop. Be sure to go over there and check out shirts, cups, stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.